Hello, and thank you very much for joining me today. I am Amble, and this is Blobcraft, and today we have a few things planned in the old plan booklet. So inside, we have step one, which is hello. So we can tick that bit off. Step two, why is this here? So what's the point of this episode? Like, what am I doing today? Well, feelings, love of art. So let's go over those two things. So the first thing is feelings. And the reason I put that first is because very recently I've been going through a lot of different feelings, highs and lows. And I wanted to express them in another way and format so it can help me deal with all these feelings. And so I will talk about those feelings today in this episode. And what else? Oops, getting back here. Okay, is love of art. That relates to Minecraft and why we play Minecraft. And then what else we're doing today is a path to Bricky. So if you don't know what Bricky is, I can show you. But for those who are and aren't familiar with us, this is a very big Minecraft world. And unfortunately, due to current circumstances, I'm also playing on my Nintendo Switch and not on my very beautiful PC. So if there's going to be some lag, which you might see some here, that's why. So please excuse it. So I'm now going to go up into the main world and show you why it's important to connect to everything via paths. And why would then we go a new path. This is Blobcraft, and it's changed a lot for those who have seen it before, and it is very overwhelming for those who've never seen it before. So this is a survival world. Well, actually, we can go to this old booklet, and on the first page, damn this person, it's Benji. Shout out to Benji. 2019 was when it was first created. So since then, it's just been expanding and expanding. And you can never guess what the other step was. Expanding. And so this is what we're going to get on paths. So if I were to leave here, there's actually a path here, for example, that goes outside of spawn. And it will go all the way as it loads to another place. And so if you're new to the world, or even if you're old to the world, you can actually kind of find your way around using paths. And somewhere where there isn't a path is in Bricky's base. And I believe his base is over in this direction. Anyway, for those who are familiar with me and those who are familiar with my content, or why am I talking about my feelings, phantoms? It's because, yeah, I'm going through a very pivotal moment in my life, and one could say that every moment is quite a pivotal moment in your life. Anything that has some big choices to make or lessons learnt, it's quite hard to deal with. I'm going to find a bed, by the way, and yeah, I've put myself in a hard situation. And now I've taken what, I've learned a lot from that. And, you can tell, I'm struggling to speak about it because it's very fresh to me still. Even after leaving the, what happened after so long, I'm still very broken on it. So, I'm not feeling as I used to be. I'm going through a hard time. I feel sad sometimes and not motivated. And that's also kind of why I wanted to make this, is for mainly myself, to help me push past these hard times and stay on, do things that I love, and keep fighting on and doing what I love, and not having that fear or having to please something else that you don't have to. And that's where I was for a while. I spent a long time recently trying to please someone else that I realized I didn't need to please, and I had a hard time trying to explain that and get my space back and do what I want to do. And yeah, I had to fight for it much more than I've ever had to fight for it before. And that's why I'd left that situation. I changed my scene. If you don't like your environment, change your scene. I did not like my environment, so I very much changed my scene. And now, everything that's happened to me since I went down this path, and for those who do know, you can see that I went down this path probably around when I stopped uploading as much. I can say it was about a year and 3 months ago is when I went down this path. And I've learned many things in this path. Also, I'm trying to find Bricky's base. I could have used the Never Highway system, but I did not. And so now I'm lost. Well, hopefully I'll be found. But here's the... Well, I also want to make a path to this place, because this is near one of the main areas of Blobcraft. Ooh, I missed. But I'm pretty sure Bricky's base is somewhere in between this over here, which is the... Wait for it. There it is. This is the Villager Trading Center. There's some villagers, and then the trading center is over here. Maybe I can find it by backtracking here. However, I will actually write it on my book here, so I can build a path. I've lost my train of thought. That's okay. Breathe. So yeah, in the past year and 3 months, I've gained a lot more anxiety. I've gained a lot more self-awareness and a lot more doubts. And my confidence has been crushed in a lot of ways. And so now I'm in the process of trying to get it back. How you do that is, well, you do things that you love and can help boost your confidence. And this is certainly one of those things for me. Even though that, I don't think it doesn't have to be the greatest, it just has to be something to help you push forward. And yeah, I've been having a hard time doing these things again. That's okay, because it's a slow process. There's no set speed to healing. You just go as fast as you can and you hope for the best. Anyway, I keep losing my train of thought. I hope that you're not as good at paying attention to what I'm saying as I am. Does that make any sense? I have to say that again. Apologies. I hope that you... no, I hope that you are better than me in paying attention. So what was I saying? Feelings. That's on the plan. That's number 2, feelings. This is Toxin's boat. So Bricky's base... Maybe I went the wrong way. Perhaps this is where I wanted to build the path the whole time and I didn't realize it. So let's keep flying then. Feelings. And breathe. Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay, I know where I am. This is the Rock of Adri. That's the aquarium, soon to be restaurant. And this is the path I showed everyone before. Cool. I'm glad we're all on the same page. I get lost when I can't see as far and the render distance is small. That looks weird. Yeah, so all these things have happened to me. More anxiety, more loss of self-confidence, and I'm trying to work it back up again. And yeah, it's very weird. It's like a disease that's spread into my self-sense and well-being. I was not in the best of environments and I was much better before. And that's how how we realized that I was not in a good place, because I compared how I was before and after, and the after was, now it's like it's not as good at all. Not as good at all. Not as good as I was before, I should say. So now I'm trying to get back to myself. So I'm touching my roots right now, and I'm trying to find my way. And I'm going to try and make things that I enjoy again, and things that I want to do, because I gave myself away. And it's important, I've learnt now, to be careful how much you give away of yourself. Because I used to think that you can, I tried to think that you can give as much as away as yourself as possible. But if you do that, you die. If you succeed in doing that, you'll die, because there's nothing left of you anymore. And unless what you want to become is, you and something else, or if you just want to be something else, then you give yourself all away, and then you'll die. Maybe that's something that you want. However, it was not something that I want, because I liked being me, and I enjoyed myself and the way I was, and the way I was brought up, and my history, and who I was, my identity. I gave it all away, and now I'm trying to get some of it back, and it's going to be changed forever. However, for the better, I believe, because of what I've learned, and that's what I'm saying. It's be careful how much you give away to yourself. Now, the reason I came back here was actually to go to the Ender portal. Sorry, I'm very bad at talking and playing. I guess this is also part of the skill, trying to get back. So now we are going to go to the Nether portal and find his base, break his base. That's what it says on the plan. We're sticking to the plan. And write down the coordinates. So this is how I'm feeling. This is why I'm doing this. Talk about my feelings. So I wonder, how much of myself did I give away? A lot. I gave away a lot. I risked a lot of things, and I knew ultimately that it would help me in finding and discovering, what it is that I want to do. And to some extent that's true. But however, right now I just found out that I completely lost myself and I had no idea what to do. Before I knew what I wanted to do, but now I don't know what to do. So I guess it's helped me realize that I should probably go back to what I did want to do before, which is this, making content. I should write that down. There you go, this is why we're doing it. So I'm going to write this down. Back to before. So maybe that's what I want. And that's true. What I had before was better. So that's what I'm striving to get. And I need to let go of what this other person or people's thinks. I need to just get rid of that, because it's not helping me achieve that. It did when I wanted to achieve something else, but then I realized I didn't want to achieve it, and the way I was achieving it was very unhealthy, and the environment that I made for myself or put myself in or was surrounding myself in wasn't very healthy. And so I exited that environment. I think it's this way. Nope, it's this way. Bricky. And so hence here we are. So I left. Wasn't making me very happy. It was making me very sad. And yeah, man, being sad sucks. I don't know if you know, but you haven't been told, being sad sucks. I've been happy. I've been in a very good moods of happiness. I know what that feeling is. It's not far or distant. I've been in those modes, and I've worked those lifestyles. However, when I sacrificed, my world for this other one, I wished for something else and hoped it would be better. I didn't realize that what I was doing was completely throwing away almost everything away I had before me. Almost. Because it did give me, because I didn't throw away everything. Not everything was thrown away. Some things were gained. However, I do feel like, most things I've lost. in terms of myself, but now I'm looking to gain them back. Find a new source of doing it back. Well, how was I doing it before? What was my source of motivation before? That's a good question. Wow, I almost died. Wow, that was very risky. Wow, the Enderman came out of nowhere. Look at him. He's trying to kill me. But luckily, I am an expert and know that water is a safe place. I mean, I was lucky that water was even here. Okay, these guys are bad news. But we'll just keep swinging. What was... I didn't get to finish what was in my book. So I was about to write, what motivated me before? Ooh, okay. He's not as quick as you think he is. He's in water. I hope you can't hear this fly. I need to help him out. In my room, he's trapped. Where is he? Oh, he's kind of zooming on the floor. Perhaps he snuck in via my clothing. Right, I had to write down these coordinates. So, good place. So if there was a path, what would be a good place to have it? Good place to have a path would be where there is an easy entrance and that connects up to where we are coming from and to where we want to go, and with the most simple and easy terrain to work with, aka not bridges. So I do believe that... How much elytra we got? Okay, we're alright with elytra for a little bit. I do believe that spawn is back this way, so it might be... This might be the path, but there's not really an entrance here. The point of a path is to enter to the place you're going in, and if we build a path that goes through this crevice, then you end up looking at the back of this place, which is not very nice. This is where you want the path to end up, right here. That's an excellent place to have a path, so let's mark that down, because then you can actually come in and appreciate the way that the builder wanted to see everything from this angle. It's a much better angle, and it's more accessible to get into the base. So I'm going to write this down. I have a notebook. This is where I keep all my important notes for everything. So I'm currently at, let's make it simple. Oh, yes. 632-532. Okay, we have that written down. And now we're going to find a way to spawn. Probably is going to be this way. So far so good. And yeah, this is looking good. Well, thank you. Okay. It isn't too far for this path. So what motivated me before was that I simply really loved what I was doing and enjoyed the process. I really enjoyed my routine. I had a lot of different things happening in my life that just gave me a lot of energy and wanted me to go, it pushed me to go further. I had a lot of different people in my life, and a lot of different people were pushing me. So I was living a very different lifestyle. That's what helped me go further. Oh. Got him. And, how can I do that again? That's another good point. I want to keep writing these down, but I know if I keep standing still, I will die. But I want to write down. We'll go to a safe point. So this looks like a good place to start the path over here, by the way. Because over here, we need a path outside of the... spawn area. This fly is really bugging me. Ignore the fly, let it go. So this is the spawn path, and it does seem to kind of dissipate here. However, I would say that we could probably get away with making a path through the old wall. Like this is kind of in a ruin. So maybe we can just knock through this wall and start building the path here. I'm thinking I'm gonna make totems to as points to aim towards, so I know which way to curve the path. Is that planks over there? Whoa. I wonder what that could be. Let's get some. Oh, who's gonna win? And the winner between the wolf and the fox is, oh, that's not looking good for the fox. Oh yeah, he's trapped in the corner, and the wolf giving him some heavy hits, and the fox gonzo. Had some wheat on him. That's nice. Do we respect the death of this fox? My soul is saying I probably should respect the death of this fox. Okay, wolf. Don't move. This is where the death happened. Right here. This is where the wolf killed the fox. Right here. And the time is 8:20. And yeah, now I'm trying to build that back up again. I'm trying to build that world around me that can push me and motivate me to do more and better. And so I'm looking at, well, I'm now living somewhere different. I was somewhere great. I moved physically and, I guess mentally to a bad space, which took me away from everything I had before. And then I moved away from that space into back home. And home isn't near or easy to get to where I was before. And so I'm trying to find a way back through it. And to be frank, there are some opportunities that can help me get there. And so I'm going to these clubs. I'm starting to go to these clubs. And that's going to help me get back more towards what I enjoy doing and what I want to do and how I like doing things. Which is great. This is great. I think I am slowly getting better, but there are definitely down days and up days. And, I was suffering from dark times. I was not happy. That could be an interesting beacon, but I don't think it needs to be something that's crazy. Netherrack is cool, but it's not very bright. We have lots of terracotta. Let's see, yeah, terralotta. And so let's go for that. So there you go. So I should write in my book again. So the environments I love. So I'm actually already kind of doing that as well. So I've recently started a new habit where I go on very long walks into the countryside every day. Except for one day recently because my legs were tired, so within reason. And I spend about 1.5 to 2 hours in the countryside, just walking alone and amongst the trees, the greens, the fields, the birds, the foxes, the deer, and the ducks and ducks. Water, nature. I am in nature, in fields. And that's really helping me, love life and, get a clear mind. And try and push myself. And little by little, I'm doing more and more. But I also have to be careful of a previous mistake that I used to do. Is not to overwhelm myself too much and do too many things. Because that's always a disaster. That's a classic mistake that I always make. So I try not to do that again. If I try to stay focused and not start too many things and keep it simple. I mean, this is already quite like a diversion. Not a diversion, but I digress. Right, let's start the path here. Oh, what am I doing? Leaving that there. Okay. I think we've officially concluded part 1, section 2. Why is this here? So we can take that off. I feel like we've successfully gone over number 2 on the plan of today. And now we're going to go into part 2 of 2, which is just the love of art. So this section, we're just going to talk about the love of art, which is also why we're playing Minecraft. So recently I saw a really cool video, of which I should really link because I've forgotten it. And this video was expressing how Minecraft is like a blank canvas and blocks is like the way you paint in a canvas. And this guy couldn't be any... No, he's very close to exactly what I agree with. In fact, I agree with him. I was going to say he's very close to the truth. Oh, look, here's Bricky's base. Okay. Okay. That was quite a simple path. So we need to kind of like go around. Yeah. See, there's like a path here. I'm trying to spot where the terrain naturally curves. So this is a good spot to kind of mark out here. We want to definitely hit this spot. We want to go north. Because we go north from here, we go straight, we go over the hill, we can take a right, down the hill, and curve around here. Splendid. That's fantastic. This is how I do it. This is how the path master gets his paths done. I love making paths, and this is what we're doing. Cool. Yeah, I agree with this guy that Minecraft is a kind of canvas. I think I have to be careful around here because if we go up there, I do believe that we get to the Bristol Suspension Bridge recreation. Sorry, Clifton Suspension Bridge. So we need to kind of steer more left. So let's make sure there's a way around it here. Okay. Yeah, so we can kind of take this path here. So we can go down, or we can go over up. I think we'll put a marker here. And then we will put a marker over here. We want to kind of go curve it because I think it's important not to hug the wall, because then you kind of a problem. And then at that point you might as well build the path somewhere else. So you know what? Might as well start the path closer to the wall if we're going to come in that direction. So then we can avoid like a future creek. Gotta stay with the terrain, follow where it flows. Kind of like, so like art. So yeah, art's kind of like this, going with the flow. Yeah, this is actually quite good actually. So we can actually go through this wall. Alright, so now we can start building the path, which is great. I should have put in the plan actually, all really I wanted to do was not a path to Bricky, but a, plan the path to Bricky. We can amend it. Plan. What? Yes, it's okay to change plans and make different things. I already feel much more accomplished. I'm so happy to go through a checklist. So we've successfully planned it so far. Let's double check. It's important to double check. So yeah, we go up here, we go up here, we go through here, we follow this terrain. We then go here. We go down, we go into this nice open clearing, which presents an interesting opportunity for a future build. And then we go up, over, and around to here, which is where his entrance is. Lovely. Hasn't reloaded in. Just take my word for it. That's fantastic. That is a path to Bricky's. And then from here we can even go to the... Never guess what's up here. The trading area, I believe, is around here somewhere. Check my elytra. Getting pretty red. I do believe it is around here somewhere. Although I'm not actually 100% sure. I'm pretty sure if I just keep following this bit. Oh, now the fly is in my face. It's quite annoying. Okay, well, but we're not playing that today, but I'm sure it's in this desert somewhere. Cool. So now we can start building the path. And it looks like we didn't have to go over any rivers, which is fantastic because that means less building and don't have to design a bridge. We can just follow the terrain and see where it leads us. What the heck is that? Is that a golden guy? Yeah, it's a golden guy. Very conscious of my durability there. Love of art. So yeah, I love art. Art's great. Love how it makes people feel, how it makes me feel, sad, happy, all the spectrum of emotions from all different kinds of media, be it radio dramas, be it ASMR artists. I don't watch them. I respect it though. I think it's giving something different, new and interesting to the world that people really enjoy. So Minecraft is an art and I enjoy it. And I love sharing the art that we make and perpetuate it. And that's why I make paths, because I think paths help us think of our art in Minecraft, because you can connect builds together and everything feels a bit closer and a bit better. So I mean, now we're ahead of the ball. We're like, this plan is done. We can tick everything here. So that pretty much wraps today's plan and therefore the point of this video. We've covered all our bases, and so let's put it on a shelf on our library. Unfortunately, we haven't got any ink sacs yet, but this plan is complete and will go on the shelf. Although I will do a little bit of editing to the book with the YouTube URL that will go online. And that does wrap it for today's reflection, love of art, and planning of the path in Blobcraft. So I hope anyone enjoyed it. Please leave a like or a comment. If people do want to see more, then I will I'll make an effort to do more. If people don't, then they will simply come in the rate of which I feel is necessary, which might be a bit more. I might have to talk more about my feelings because I'm still working through them. Other than that, again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, life, and I hope you find what it is that makes you happy. Bye. I don't